So I remember what happened last session, but I don't remember where we left off, per se.
We left off with a stone giant that was sprouting another head, who was shouting demonic stuff, started hurling rocks everywhere in the marketplace.
Okay.
And I did post the stuff. I think I put the,
yes,
you did. The stuff from last time. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I've got the translation here. I'm looking at it going, yeah. Don't know what that means, but this is what he said.
Mm-hmm. And we will be...
Go get him.
Oh. I got him.
Yeah. It's like, well,
you just stand back.
Yeah.
By the way, Mark, we played by the DM today, just because he is working on his recording block right now. We're going to give him his time to do that.
Yep.
So we are going to make him go first, set up all the traps, do all that sort of stuff.
Perfect.
Like you do, you know.
No, actually, I got a rule. If you're not here, but you are being NPC'd, you cannot die when you're not here. That's not a thing that can happen.
It's kind of a dick move, yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to come back and be like, oh, by the way, you're dead.
Yeah.
Here's your new character.
Exactly. Hope you have somebody ready.
Doesn't mean you can't get hurt. Doesn't mean you can't get captured or anything like that. You still share the party's fate, but, you know.
Or have new abilities or disabilities, depending on how things go.
Depends. That's
you drank this mysterious ooze. I don't know why you did it, but that's what the roll said to do. So now you've got this now.
I can't believe you assassinated the king, but I
know who does that?
Wanted to do. I mean, normally not like that. Like, what's up with you? No. So we left off really at a point where we need to either roll initiative because you want to deal with this, or help at least with this stone giant. And just to give you a top-down picture of what's going on here, this is in the contained marketplace where the people from out of town are being held. This ruckus has just started. Like, the place is just full of people. I'm not going to put people out everywhere, but assume that you have secondary targets if you try and do any AoE, at least for the first few rounds.
Okay.
Now, you could also totally say, like, you know what? Not a problem. Leave. That is entirely up to you.
I want to do the slow hero walk away as things are getting destroyed. With
Yeah,
the music playing in the background. And like,
don't look back. Don't look back.
Yeah, no. Cool guys, don't look back.
Man, we didn't do it, so, you know, just let it go.
Oh, yeah. They technically can't blame us for this yet.
Yeah. It looks like there's a few brave souls who look like they're nothing more than like caravan guards who maybe at least trying to face this thing down, you know, probably before they figure out that it's a little too much for them to handle. The people who seem to be the most equipped to deal with this, the Durgar, don't seem to really be doing much. Well, they're not doing much. They're getting into a type of formation, some type of military formation, but they are posting themselves at the entrance right here, which separates the foreign marketplace from the actual other proper parts of the city. So it looks like at the moment their plan is containment while this thing is running around.
Okay. Couple questions I have. Aside from the sprouting the head, which is obviously not normal, does the giant seem to have like any particular direction or target, or is it just like my head hurts and I'm spouting things and I'm flailing around and happen to be hitting things, or does it seem to be focused?
He seems to be having an episode more than anything.
Okay.
You can tell. I mean, you're proficient in medicine, right?
I seem to remember that being first aid being one of my major things.
Yeah, like even cleric, without rolling, you can tell this guy is having some sort of psychotic episode. He is likely, both mundanely and magically being affected by something, and the demonic head probably isn't helping.
Okay, he seems so well adjusted.
Yeah, he's lashing out at everything. You can tell that he really has no sense of friend from foe right now.
Okay. So my next question is, my thought process is trying to guide him away from as much collateral damage as possible, which means we're going to have to fight against the crowd who's running away if we decide to go that route, and take him towards what I'm assuming over here is a wall, like a made, not retaining wall, but like a district wall.
That's right.
Between, okay. So I'm assuming push him towards the district wall away from the buildings. Try and minimize the damage. Which means the fun thing of either trying to get his attention and or attacking him to get his attention.
That definitely would be a provoking action. You probably would catch his attention.
All right, who's the bait?
Mark says, "I'll do it."
Well, I was going to say it's Mark, obviously, but how?
You do also have Brave Ront as well.
Yes, Ront. Fastball special with Mark.
Yeah. And Ront's like, I don't know about this. But before we get to too much tactical strategy, why don't we go ahead and roll initiative? Because it sounds like you're planning on doing some stuff, and things may change round to round.
I'm ready to do something stupid.
All right. That's a synonym for bravery.
Oh, yeah. I'm going last.
The hard
What have
8.
you got, Liam? An 8, he said?
For me?
What'd you get, Tesson? Sorry?
I got an 8.
Oh, did you both get 8?
Nope.
What did I hear wrong? What'd you get, Liam?
With my +3 bonus, I got a 4.
All right.
Nice.
That good old one.
Rock solid.
All right. We'll go ahead and do Mark here. So Mark is speedy, which means he gets a 20 initiative. So he's going to go in there first. That'll be great. Mark has that look on his face like he senses, demon energy to drink. So
yes.
Dawnbringer is just literally vibrating in your hand like, demons, the slate finally.
Maybe.
Demonic. No, demonic. This thing is definitely demonic. Way worse than Mark.
Okay.
And the important thing, rampaging giant. So here's the thing about stone giants. They're actually speedy for giants. Although it does help if I roll very high as well. All right.
And I know it's all relative, but are stone giants some of the smaller giants versus, like, say, storm giants?
Well, small is a relative term.
Right.
So compared to storm giants, yes. And just to kind of give you a picture of this particular individual, of course, they've got rough, kind of rocky type skin. They're very thin compared to a lot of giants. A lot more tall than wide. So you don't see. I mean, they're like the. Don't get me wrong; they can pick you up and rip you in half. Still, they're huge, but they're not like built for muscle. As a matter of fact, being a religious person yourself, you know that stone giants are generally revered for their prophecy and their religious ties. Like, they're generally the more peaceful among the giants, generally.
Okay.
The more studious. Now this guy obviously not. He is standing about. They've got this height chart. I'm trying to find it here. Let's see. Where are you? Here you are. So a stone giant stands about 18 feet tall.
Okay.
So really tall, but that is, as far as the giants go, actually on the smaller end.
Okay.
Nothing to sneeze at, of course, but
He could still dunk on you. I get it.
yeah. Now, he is also exhibiting a fairly well-known stone giant thing, the ability to work with stone. That's kind of where they get their name.
Yes.
And he has a huge piece of stone, probably a piece of a building or something, that is swinging around like a club. And of course, he flung some stone across and hit the wall last session. You know they have that ability as well.
Okay.
All right. So we'll start off with Mark. So I'm kind of going to let you give Mark some directions if you want to. Otherwise, he's just going to act, on his
As
own.
he's running, I'm going to say, try and draw him to the district wall.
All right. Mark uses his monk speed.
To monk his way over there.
So he takes off, dodging through the crowd. How much key do you have, Mark? He's going to use a key point to dash as his bonus action and try and get its attention over here. Trying to direct it from the wall to the wall. It's just because I know Lord would probably do this. He will try and taunt it. Come on, the dwarf.
Yeah.
You totally do that. And the stone giant seems to take like little to no notice of it. He's just being drowned out amongst the entire crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, so it's so weird when everybody else is going before the players because they just rolled really low.
Oh.
Some of the guards, some of the caravan guards, oops, they're supposed to be here. Sorry. Move up, and they seem to be getting kind of the same idea where they know they can't really take this thing down, but they're going to try and direct it at the very least towards those guards over by the gate. Like kind of let them maybe get tangled up with it. So they all start not stabbing at it to try and kill him, but to try and hurt him, get their attention, move him over there. And one of them does manage to poke him in the leg and try and drag him around this area. This guy right here has his attention. We'll move you around there.
Neener.
Yes, exactly. Tag.
And now he's probably
it.
about to find out that was a bad idea. Because it is the giant's turn.
Yep.
And the giant just roars this thing out. And you hear, again, Tassin, some more lines of that weird demonic phrase.
Okay.
And
it's very poetic.
Very poetic, yeah. Everybody's very impressed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Except it sounds like the devil.
So much culture in this city.
Yeah. It's a true artist. No, but he raises this makeshift club up and tries to swat away this guard right here. Yeah, he manages to miss the first time, but the second time does connect. That's a lot of damage.
Oh no!
How much health does a guard have? Not
That's a
that
lot of
much.
damage.
Okay, that guard breaks in half. It literally just smashes him into the ground, and you can tell the good news is he probably didn't feel it.
Bad news is I probably can't heal that.
No, that is like a straight to dead.
He's a stain.
Yeah.
He got hit for 26 points of damage.
Okay, that's a bit much.
I did roll very high.
Doesn't help.
Yep. And then the giant just roars out like you can tell like the normal head seems very distraught, almost distraught and angry at what has happened, and the demonic one just like roars out like it enjoyed that. So it seems to be in a little bit of a dichotomy here.
Okay. So this is like the Ash Evil Dead Army of Darkness, where he's grown another head and they start arguing with each other and turns into a Three Stooges.
Yeah, it's a little more insane than the Ash, if that can be said, but
Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
All right, Tassin, it's your turn.
So I'm assuming the crowds are still coming towards us, obviously, if it's still packed. I'm gonna try something dumb, and I'm gonna bring out Dawnbringer and crank it to full blast to try and see if that makes people like part in front of us so we can get like, because I'm not a monk and I can't run through crowds like Mark can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try that and see if that gives me a little bit better path to get some good distance, because I'm not going to make it this round.
Yeah. I'll have Dawnbringer make a because Dawnbringer has stats. Dawnbringer will make a check, intimidation check, charisma check.
Charisma check. Okay.
Charisma +2. It's pretty good, Dawnbringer.
+2. Okay. That's a 6.
Oh, okay.
Not so good.
Okay. So it cranks up to full, and you can. It does carve a little bit of a path, right?
Okay.
So people seem to be streaming a little more away towards you. It just seems to have. It adds to some of the confusion, right?
Okay.
But at the very least, you have a bit of a path. You look just like Luke Skywalker in the front of the Star Wars poster.
Perfect. Totally what I was going for.
Rot's hanging off you like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that tracks.
No. Okay. Yeah. So
probably to about here.
Yeah, you can move your movement. I'll let you move up your movement.
Okay.
Anything else will be your action, the dash.
So that would be first movement. So then I would say here for here for full double movement.
Okay.
Move.
I will say this: the demonic head, as you're approaching with Dawnbringer out, just like turns and it locks its gaze on you. Like you definitely have the attention with Dawnbringer out.
Perfect. My plan is working.
Dawnbringer says, "Yes, a brilliant plan."
We'll see.
All right. Any bonus actions?
I don't think I have any that pertain to this particular. Yeah, nothing that would work in this situation.
Okay. All right. I'm assuming that Roth will just follow in suit.
Yep.
All right. Now, Roth actually has that special ability called Aggressive,
which lets him move and attack.
So as a bonus action, he can basically dash.
Okay.
So he can double move and still have an action. I don't know if that gets him all the way there. So, and if not, that means he can triple move if he wants to.
So Ront would be probably another foot and a half to me. So his movement still 30 like mine is?
His movement is still 30 like his. Okay. He can follow in your path. So yeah, he can basically get up to you.
And then for bonus,
yeah, he can actually get up there next to Mark.
Yeah,
it takes his turn, but he can move further.
Okay.
Yeah, he can use this as long as he's charging at an enemy, basically. Okay.
He roars his battle challenge. Yeah, just.
All right, Liam.
I've got a plan.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. Here's where it goes sideways.
All right. So first I move.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to cast Grease.
Oh. The Omnibus Wizard spell.
Right at the base of the giant.
Okay. So some very slippery grease appears. So I think that's a 10-foot square, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there anywhere specific under it you want it, or you just want under in general?
As centered as it can be.
Okay. So you have to trust me, it's underneath his base. Yeah. Okay, so you see this glob of slick grease just become conjured under him, and when it appears, each creature standing in the area, which is only the giant, has to make a dex save or fall prone. All right. You take out your bit of pork rind or butter and cast the spell, and I've got a dex save coming. It's true. That's the material component.
I've got this bacon grease. Hold on. Yes, yeah, this is a good plan.
Got him at the convenience store. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nothing to see here.
So I've got. So the one thing I've got like advantage on perception against charm, all that sort of stuff. One thing another head doesn't give me is advantage on falling down. So he will make a normal dexterity save. How does a 14 do?
It does not.
Oh. So this giant roars out as he falls prone and just goes thud on the ground.
Clean out upon aisle 5. No, and then he's underground. Yes, this does leave a conundrum. Right, we get it. Yep.
Yeah, you get it. All right, yeah. Cool. He falls down. Two guards say, "Whoo! I guess this will be easier now."
Maybe.
All right. Well done, Liam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lick my fingers, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Bacon.
Job well done. So there is no way Mark would resist doing this. He will take advantage of the advantage while this guy is prone and try and pummel him into unconsciousness.
Try and focus on the demonic head.
All right, Mark, how you doing there? All right, so yeah, so prone is really good for melee characters. So they get advantage to hit.
And with his like key and everything, he gets what, 6 attacks?
He's going to make 4. He doesn't get 6, but he's going to make 4. He's going to use his key to make 4 attacks. So the first one's a hit. Second one's a hit. Third one is, you're at a plus. That it's a hit. He hits all 4 attacks. A couple of those needed the advantage on.
Ultra combo.
Yep. So I mean, like the head is like his biggest hit he is. So like while it's staring at him in the face, he's like ka-tung, 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 ka-tung. So let's see how much he does. What are you at? I think you're at a D6, aren't you? I don't recall. Is he using D6s?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it on the attacks. It's the problem. I want to say it is, but I don't want to cheat you out of some more damage. Yep, it's a D6. So what we're looking at nice damage. So he does a total of 27 points of bludgeoning damage as he just knocks this thing back and forth. And you can see him like he's bludgeoning up the demonic head, which is spouting out all sorts of curses in between that apparently very poetic demonic prophecy.
Language, please. There are children here.
Yeah. He seems to be making it very mad, but there is no way it is even near unconsciousness. But he's trying. That's the important thing. The guards take their chance to try and... at this point, they're like, this thing just needs to die. And they manage to... One misses and the other one crits him. It stabs him, stabs the demonic head in the forehead. And manages to do... He crit. Manages to do 8 points of damage to him. And that just seems to annoy the thing. But every little bit, it's bleeding a little bit. Now, it is its turn. And I have something I have to do if I have to stand up, right?
It's like extremely difficult terrain, but...
Let's see. It's difficult terrain. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So what he can do, it looks like he can stand up, but if he ends his turn there, which since he's crazy and he's just going to swing at stuff he's going to have to make another save or fall down again.
Yep.
And I think... Yeah, and he uses half his movement to stand up anyway, because he has to do that. So he's not really going anywhere anyway. Yeah, so he stands up and oof. I do have Dawn. Well, so here's the conundrum. I have Dawnbringer that I really hate, that's coming towards me. I just got stabbed and I got bludgeoned in the face. What do I hate more? This is going to work out for y'all either way, because he's either going to take like 4 attacks of op and try almost fall prone, or so we'll do this. We'll make it
Roll a d6.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to count you as 2, Taston and
Okay.
Dawnbringer.
It's gonna be.
You're going to be 1
Don't
and 2.
worry. Don't worry, folks. It'll be a 2.
It's not a 2. It's a 1. All right. So the demonic head seems to win out. It's just like, even though it's been bludgeoned and stabbed, it's just staring daggers at you and Dawnbringer Taston.
Mhm.
So a couple things going to happen. It gets up, and it starts to move in this direction. I've got 20 feet of movement though. 5, 10, 15, 20. I can't even make it.
That's almost within striking range,
All
considering
right.
that
So he's going
reach.
to dash. And then Ront, Mark, and the 2 guards are going to get attacks of op.
just toothpicking him in the leg.
Mm-hmm. So Mark manages the hit. Or 6. Do you want to take Ront's attack, or do you need his stats?
I can just roll a 20 and you can tell me what that does.
Okay.
13.
13. All right. That plus 6, because he's got that blessing, is a hit.
Okay.
So he does a d12 plus 4.
Yep. 7.
7. Okay. Chipping him down, chipping him down. So here's the thing. I had to... he gets up. He realizes that he cannot make it without doing something. So he's stumbling around. He is going to take the club, the stone piece that he has in his hand, and he's going to hurl it at you, Taston.
Okay.
Now he will be at disadvantage since this is a ranged attack.
No, my turn's not up next. Never mind. I had a plan, but it's not my turn coming up next.
Oh no! I have something even better. Okay, this will be even better. So I'm only going to move 10 feet because I'm going to try and pick up Mark and toss him at you.
Of course.
All right. Mark does get a dexterity save.
Okay.
He's pretty good at these.
I have a new plan if this works.
Missed it.
Okay.
So Mark gets grabbed in the stone giant's hand, and he goes hurtling at you, Taston.
Okay.
Taston, you get a dex save.
Awesome. Hopefully I can get this because I have actually just all logistics like on the table. Would it even be possible for me to get a high enough dex save where I can basically, as he comes in, grab him and rotate around and send him back? Or is that just way too much centrifugal force?
Send Mark back?
Yeah, to the giant.
Oh,
I'm thinking it might be too much force all at once, considering the velocity he might be flying at in his own
that will
mass.
definitely be a heroic feat, for sure. I won't say it's impossible, but
All right,
I
gonna be
don't
at
think
20.
you'll be
Let's
able
see
to.
what we got here.
I don't think you'll be able to toss him all the way back at the giant. But
Okay,
you could at least,
but at least I
head
can
in that
time like.
direction. Now, if this is a miss, though, he's hitting you. So,
Oh, he's gonna hit me. Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to roll to see if I can. I mean, I would dodge, so yeah, that would be my instinct to dodge. Okay. Dex. That is a 14.
14. All right. Fortunately, that's not sufficient.
I'm getting hit by a dwarf.
Yep. So, both you and Mark are going to take some damage.
Good, good.
Good news is this is not as bad as getting hit by the club. Bad news is they're both pretty high. So there's 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh God.
You're okay. Well, aside from taking damage, although Mark will land prone.
Okay.
Oops. He's fine. He's like, it's just a little dwarf tossing. It's fine.
Right.
Now I make a deck save because I'm probably going to fall down to grease again. No. Well, maybe. I rolled a 23.
Yeah, that'll make
Okay.
it.
Okay. He seems to randomly roll very high. And he is standing for now. All right. Bastin, it's your turn.
So taking that damage, it probably knocks me over.
No, it doesn't knock you over. It just affects Mark.
Okay. So then, let's see. I'm gonna. Which way is he? And he's still facing towards me, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like like that.
Would I need to make a combo roll to move forward at enough velocity to run between his legs, slide on the grease, and hit him with Dawnbringer on the way through in the leg?
So here's the thing. Since these two size categories larger, you can automatically move under him.
Okay.
But
grease is difficult terrain, so
grease is difficult, right? So it would be basically I'll either let you make it since you're actively trying to do it, either in dex save or in acrobatics.
Okay.
Sliding is not the problem. It's just remaining standing afterwards, right?
Well, I'm just assuming this is going to be kind of like a baseball slide by.
Oh, okay. So you're just voluntarily just doing that. Okay.
Yeah, because it's grease, and I'm just going to I'm not going to be able to ice skate my way across. I'm assuming this is all going to go back because my dex is not that good, and I know that.
Yeah, if you're okay with ending up down like that, for sure.
Okay. All right. So slide through on that. Dawnbringer is attack roll d6. Or attack roll +6. All right, so 18.
Yes.
And then 1d8 +4 radiant. Right. That's 8.
All right, a good blow. You sear up its legs, and Dongbury says, "Good hit. Now let's do it 10 more times."
Oh God.
Yeah, and you slide over. Are you intending on ending up over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slide through on the grease.
Right. Yeah. No, that was the plan. Just use it as like a pass by.
Yeah. There we go. Dawnbringer gets in the way of placing tokens.
Everything.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Conversations.
All right. Yep. You slide over to next to guards. They're like, "Oh, hi."
We should be running.
You have a magic sword. You fight this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So it seems like all these cuts and burns and stuff are starting to wear this thing down more, but it's obviously still very hardy. As we come up to Rod's turn, I'm assuming there's nothing more that Rod would like to do than take a swing at this stone giant.
Yes, and he would love to hit it in the toes.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a really mean thing to do to get his attention. All right, that's going to be 10.
10. So that brings it up to a 16. That actually is a miss. So he does manage to make contact with it, but its skin is just tough as rock. So it doesn't manage to pierce through its hide.
Okay.
Looks disappointed. That was a solid hit, too. All right. Liam.
I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to have to try it. A black bolt shoots from my finger. And let's see.
And ignites the grease. Come on!
No.
I know.
Ah!
Why does it burn?
All right, what's his AC?
His AC is 17.
All right, so that's 22 to hit.
Mhm.
Ray of Enfeeblement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this has a special thing against creatures that use strength to hit people, doesn't it?
Yep. So he does have a con save, but I'm not sure if it's immediate.
It is not. I have to make it at the end of my turn, so you're guaranteed a round of this.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is just as an FYI for the audience. So what happens? This giant looks like visibly weakened. Like his muscles go slack, and it seems like he's suddenly having trouble holding his weight up. He only deals half damage from weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. Which, guess what stat he uses to make attacks?
Oh, I know this one.
That's good. That's good. Cool.
I don't know how long I can hold it for.
Yeah, this is like a wizard battle where he's like, okay. So Mark gets up. He's like, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
And he comes back over here and tries to throttle this guy again. Don't have stunning strike, do you, Mark?
Don't recall him ever mentioning.
Yeah. He doesn't say anything about that on his sheet. So if it's not on his sheet, doesn't have it. Oh, no, he does, actually. I'm sorry. Just didn't search it for some reason. Okay. So he's smart in this. He's just going to flurry of blows and not try and force the giant to make a con save to avoid this. He knows that's not going to happen. All right. He manages to hit him 3 times, and one of them's a crit as he just goes to town in his kneecaps again.
Oh, not cool.
You're like, Mark, you were just like hitting everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Dealing a total of 25 damage to this thing. So this thing's like looking worse now. Still obviously has a lot of life left in him, but it's pretty quickly turning. But not before. Guards get to go. They're like, hey, that's pretty cool, man. You know what? I don't feel like dying today. So since you're blocking for this, I'm going to disengage and get out of here.
Pansies! Oh,
We're letting the person with the magic lightsaber handle this.
fine.
We're not. You got this.
Yeah, clearly.
After our friend there was just smushed into literally paste.
It's a fair point.
I think we bit off more than we could chew. Have fun. Okay, so
with all that.
the first thing that happens is well, no, that's when enters the area. Okay, so we'll see if he ends his turn. So the stone giant. Oh man, I'm mad at so many people.
Super mad.
But I'm especially mad at Taston, apparently. And that thing, that demon slain blade, is annoying.
It is.
So it picks up this piece of building that it's been hauling around, and somewhat more limply than the last time, tries to bring it around and crash you into paste, Taston.
Can it physically lift it this time?
It can. Even cut in half, its strength and still mighty. But it will definitely be doing half damage with it, if it manages to hit at all.
Half damage with a building. That's still gonna suck.
I mean, it's probably double HP digit saving, so. Okay. So, he swings it around kind of in a windmill-like manner. This may not be good. I only have a 13 to hit on the first attack.
My AC 17, so that does not.
All right. Let's try again. Thank then he swings it around again. He's like, oh. Gum. 14 to hit.
Okay. Super lucky.
He sucks. And he makes 2 saves at the end of his turn as he just screams in frustration. The first one I'll do is for the grease. I have a 17 to save versus the grease.
That does.
Yeah.
I think. I'm going to say it does because I'm 99% sure.
Okay. Yeah, stone giants are a little bit weird. They actually are proficient in dex saves, so he's taking it like a champ. And then the con save versus
Yeah, it's a
the ring.
15.
Okay. And he does make the con save with the 25.
That does not.
Oh, the 15 doesn't?
No, sorry, for the Ray of Enfeeblement.
25?
Oh, no, sorry. I've got a 22. He has to beat a 22.
Oh, geez. I did get a 22.
That's what? No, sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm adding the save and my attack bonus. It's a 15.
Okay.
The save is a 15.
Okay, so he does manage to shake it off, but nobody took any damage, so a good round, regardless. Taston. Longbury says, strike him again.
Yes. I'm gonna try and he's gonna try and hit me with a building. I'm gonna hit him with a sword of light.
As one does.
The problem is I can't hit the demonic head because he's standing up. So
that's right.
Okay. So this is gonna suck for him, and I apologize because it seems like he seems like a regular nice guy just having a bad day. So like you do.
We all grow another head and rage and demonic sometimes.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna. If he's still facing, no, he would be facing me because he's attacking me. Yeah. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be a knee shot. It's gonna have to be. All right, 17.
Mm-hmm.
And 9.
9. Okay. Taken. And he goes, ah! Now the normal head is looking a little sad because he's hurting too. All right. Anything else?
Nope, still no bonus actions that would make sense here. Wait, cantrips cannot be cast as bonus actions. Those are actions, right?
Not unless the cantrip was like a special one, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, there is one cantrip I know as a Grave Cleric you can cast as a bonus action, which is Spare the Dying, but
right, which is what I'm trying to not do for him. Yeah, no, that would be super mean. Like, hey, we got him down. Keep him alive for longer.
I mean,
good. Wow, that went dark. No.
Yeah. All right, Ront.
All right, here we go. Nat 20. Oh my god. Okay, Ront's figured it out this time.
Oh, pointy end.
Oh, right. Right.
Ooh, 2d12 plus 4.
All right, so that's 7 again, so 18.
Jeez. Okay. Ah!
Super not cool.
I mean, he gets a good tendon slice in there. Right there.
Love to see it.
Yeah. And that giant goes like down on one knee after that. Still up, but oof. All right, Liam.
All right, I'm going to move up. All right. And I'm going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to send it off to slap the demon head.
He tried to get him mad at you. Okay. It goes up there and just goes.
Yep.
Doesn't do any damage.
Nope.
But you're just insulting him.
Yep.
I challenge you, sir.
Now it's a compelled duel.
Yeah. Pistols at dawn.
Okay.
That's
That's what. Okay. It's just like a brief moment of silence. Everybody goes like, "What?" Mark goes over and attacks you. No. Mark is like, "Oh, I'm not being played by a player, so I'm going to keep using all my key." Now, I guess this feast or famine manages to hit only once, as he blows for attack and rolls minimum damage. So the giant winces. The demonic head winces, but there's only like one heck. And he still remains standing. The guards are getting out of here. Man, I hate a lot of people now. Everybody I hate. Been sliced, I've been punched, and then somebody slapped me in the face. You're on the shit list now.
Yeah, who throws a shoe, honestly?
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still choosing somewhat randomly.
Yeah, wait for it.
I'm insane. All right. Oh, that wasn't anybody. Liam, you must have touched a nerve.
Wow, he just incensed.
Yeah. All right.
That seems so ridiculous.
Yeah. So he's going to do something a little bit special here. So that thing that he has in his hand, well, he's going to lose it because he is going to bowl it in a line through Mark into Liam.
Wow.
So he will be losing his club, but he essentially performs a rolling log trick in this direction right here. So both Mark and Liam, I would like you to please make a dexterity saving throw. As this thing, it actually goes 30 feet. Yeah, so it's going to land next to you, Liam.
And it's a stone column.
It is a stone column. I say it's not actually rolling it. It's more like he's just shooting it along the ground.
Right, so it's just skipping across.
This thing is literally called Rolling Rock.
Oh, okay.
Here's Mark. Mark has failed. How did you do, Liam?
From his icon, it looks not so great.
Oh. Okay.
It's either really cool because I'm balancing on my staff, or I done fucked up.
Am I Jackie Chan? No. Well, then I messed up.
Aww.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Okay. So you're correct. You do fall prone on a failed save. So does Mark, and you also take some damage from this thing. Oof. I did roll higher than average. For 29 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
As, I mean, literally a stone pillar goes clam. Mark is not looking so hot, actually. Be a perfect excuse for him to go off and heal up. All right. But that is his turn, and then I must make a save to not fall down in this grease. I believe I have fallen down because I rolled a 14.
Yep, it's 15 for a save.
All right, and he goes, yes, and then falls prone and slips.
No.
Falls in the spot. The demonic head goes, oh. All right, Tassin. So you have this prone stone giant who's slipping around this crease. You don't understand giant, do you, by chance?
No.
Okay.
So I have no idea what the giant's saying, but I absolutely totally understand what the demonic head's saying, which is really weird.
You can tell that the normal stone giant, it's saying something in giant at you. It is pleading with you about something.
I know, buddy. I'm trying to get this figured out. So I'm gonna stab the demonic head in its neck.
Okay, you have advantage since it is prone.
Because I want to.
Everybody's prone.
Oh, my hope, my plan, is to try and remove the head very forcefully, and then see if I can heal the wound of removing the. I don't know if you can actually do this, removing a head and then healing the wound with clerical abilities, but we're gonna see how this turns out.
Well, I mean, it's the first time for everything.
Right. Yes. Or he may just bleed out, and this is all a bad scene.
Yeah, this is one of those things like there's no precedent for this you've heard of, so you're kind of trying it.
We're trying new territory here.
The lightsaber is going to cauterize the wound. So.
Right.
Oh
yes. Literally cutting edge new tech.
It's a laser scalpel.
Oh no!
1 mega damage, you're dead. Oh.
No, it's not. Okay, so first one's a 12. Second one's a 6. So we'll go with the 12. 12 with the 6 is 18.
And that's a hit.
Okay, and that's D8 plus 4. Sorry, that's the wrong dice because I rolled an 11. That made no sense in my head. D8, Josh. There we go. 7.
7.
Radiant damage.
Okay. So you don't take the head off, but you cut deep into it, and it's burning it, and it's not exactly cauterizing it like fire, but it's definitely searing it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take the head off. He's not dead yet, but it's getting there.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a medicine check then, since you're attempting battlefield surgery with a sword.
With a light sword. Yeah. This is good. We're doing good work here.
I mean, you got a plan in mind.
Yeah. All right. 17.
17. Okay. You are you're pretty sure that based on what you're doing to this thing, that you're kind of cutting into it and seeing reactions, seeing how it's reacting, that this isn't quite like cutting off a vestigial organ or limb or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Removal of the head is probably about as close to killing this thing as you can get. So unless you have something like a resurrection, like a revivify, you can throw on him right afterwards. Your removal of the head is probably a death sentence.
I was gonna say otherwise, it's like try and punch him in the head until he gets knocked out, but that only helps half the I don't know, because
that is another option.
Well, because I was looking at Dawnbringer, going, okay, well, I've got the once a day. I can remove charm, not charm.
The greater restoration.
Yeah, greater restoration doesn't apply here because it's not charmed, not cursed. It's demonic. Well, it's demonic possession, which is different from curse.
Well, you know what? Make a religion check then, since you're thinking along those lines, because this would be similar to demonic possessions type stuff. Obviously, much more advanced, but
15.
15. Okay. So religiously, here's what you know. There is precedent for like demonic transformations like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super stupid rare, and it means that there's probably something uber powerful in the area, or the area is just nasty corrupted, or this is a cultist or something like that. Generally, the solution in the temples is kill the thing, salt the body, holy water the body, leave it alone,
Set it on fire. Yeah.
But you have heard of instances before, and they remain just stories, not anything you've personally witnessed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where this stuff has been cured. But, and this is kind of supported by your medical knowledge as well, it generally means slaying or removing the actual thing. And if it kills them, you gotta, resurrect or revivify them. So yeah, unless this is some weird curse you've not really heard of before, in which case greater restoration would work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think greater restoration is really going to help you there. You think it may remove the madness, though, at least for a bit, though.
Okay.
So maybe he could even live with that for a little bit.
Okay.
So, pick your poison, right?
Yeah. Well, it does. I mean, it says remove the curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magical item. So
Some giants run around their skivvies, so you're not really sure he's got a magic item on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not really holding like a dark pulsating jewel or something or some sort of totem.
Yeah,
so.
you're not quite sure this would count as a traditional curse. The closest thing you can think of is probably like an Eden's curse.
That's a thing.
It actually is. Yes.
Wow, that sounds horrid.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this. Like it doesn't make you grow an extra head.
Mm-hmm.
Not normally, at least as far as you know.
Okay.
But you're kind of suspecting this is not a curse, though. Like this is an actual transformative effect.
Like this is something even worse.
Yeah, not like a magic something somebody casts in this thing. This is like a change of state almost.
Okay.
But this is Battlefield Medicine, so who knows? This is best guess based on what you've rolled.
Okay.
All right.
That's my turn. Yeah.
While you contemplate that, Ron's like, I'm gonna kill this thing.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, that's totally Ron.
He does have advantage.
That's 14 and 1. We'll go with the 14 then.
That is a hit.
Okay. D12 is an 11.
Wow.
Thank you for that host, Darth Chiron.
11 total?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ront, seizing the opportunity, he's like, oh, good idea. And he chops further into the neck of this demonic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't take it off, but that seemed to be the blow that did it. And there's some blood that spurts all over the place and it gurgles a bit, and the stone giant goes limp as it begins bleeding out.
Okay.
Ron says, yes! I did it!
Great. Here's what it's going to get kind of gruesome. I'm going to try to do this, but I'm going to try and take Dawnbringer and sever the rest of the head off. So it's going to be like a shoulder that's going to be bleeding profusely, but see if I can cast. What's my most powerful healing spell? Or with medicine, would I know that my most powerful healing spell is just kind of a dick move at this point, where it's just going to be like, oh, you're just slowing his immediate demise.
You know how you were halfway joking about that constant spare the dying stuff?
Yeah.
You are a grave cleric, and that actually is meant to keep someone on the edge of life.
Okay, but it isn't limited to just party members. Oh, just a living creature. Okay,
it's living creatures.
I was like, can I do that on an enemy, or is that some sort of taboo thing in the rule? Okay.
Yeah, so here's a cool thing about grave cleric sites. Since you can do that as a bonus action, you can still do normal actions while you're doing this. So you can literally just boom, spare dying, boom, spare dying. So even if you deal damage and start the bleed count again, you immediately fix it.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it can be torture, but that's technically what surgery is, right?
Okay, so I do have a
D&D at least.
Yeah, really. I do have a 3rd level cleric spell, Revivify.
Okay.
Touch a creature that has died within the last minute. This creature returns to life with 1 hit point. This spell can't return life to a creature that has died of old age, nor can it restore any missing body parts, which is what we don't want to do anyway.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to restore the demonic head, surprisingly.
This would be the chop the head off and then revivify within a minute, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, do you have the components for the spell, though?
Oh, boy.
So it says diamonds worth 300 gold.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I needed the components for that. I didn't think it was a. It is necromancy, and come on, load. Action, touch, instantaneous. This components V, S, and M, which doesn't tell me anything. Oh god, diamonds worth 300 gold pieces, which the spell consumes. So I don't have a diamond, but stupidly enough, I do have 3 times 50 gold gems, which is not enough. That's only half of what I would need. All right, new plan. I don't have the money for the spell. So we're going to do Spare the Dying, and then...
Yeah, you keep him stable in the meantime if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming you go ahead and cast Spare the Dying before he bleeds out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you cast it, and this happens within a matter of half a minute. All of this, and as the din of the battle lowers, the din of the crowd immediately rises up just as quickly as people are, still shouting, trying to get away from this area, and generally just agape at what has happened.
Okay.
You have all found yourself and by these guards just like screwed off. They're like, yeah, forget this. You find yourself in the middle of this body arena, essentially, where everybody is pressed as far away as they can get from this. So you've got like a line almost like right here. I mean, this place is that packed without like actually, crushing people. That's kind of how it's been. The Duragar are still guarding there. They're all watching this scene intently. But they still maintain guard there. No one's barked out any orders or anything. You have the stone giant stabilized. And just after you stabilize him, you see another stone giant.
Oh, boy.
It's okay, though. Well, you think it's
How is that okay?
He crushes you, you're dead. No.
Yeah, no.
No, this one appears out of breath, and he seems to be much more well-dressed, if you could say such a thing about a stone giant. Actually has like some robes and some scrolls on. And he pokes his head around the corner, just panting out of breath. And he sees this scene as you were just stabilizing this other giant. And he says something like obviously in relief to the ground and giant. And goes and steps over these Durgar who come in, obviously heading towards your group.
Okay.
And he says, in common.
Oh, okay.
This time. He says, thank the stones. Thank the stones. This madness has been stopped. Stone bones, praise to you. And he points at the ground. He approaches and says, you with the sword of light. It is you. I've finally found you.
Okay.
The one that the stones spoke of. You are here to cure the corrupt earth. And he points at the stone giant in the ground. He says, oh, my brother, my brother. Why?
Do you know what happened to him?
I do. But he lowers his voice as much as possible.
Which is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Stone giants are surprisingly quiet.
Huh.
And leans down. I mean, this guy, subtlety is not anything he can possibly do here. But as much as possible, he says, it is not for us to speak of such things here. Not in public.
Okay. Well, chances are probably really good that the city guards are going to take your friend away. Is he when he says brother, does he mean like his brother, like brother in arms, or is like actually relation? Do they, as much as I wouldn't know, do they look even remotely similar? Or what ish?
Make an insight check.
Okay. They're going to take your brother away. Yeah, that's going to be 13.
Okay. You kind of get the feeling it's more of a title. like you would refer to someone in a close organization as a brother, but not like familial.
The royal we.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, no, as my right as the stone speaker. And he points his hand towards the guards. I claim this body, and I seek passage for you. And he points at you, Taston, to Cairngorm Cavern. And he looks pointedly at the Durgar guard, who seems like he's annoyed that this is happening, but he nods at the stone giant. The stone giant turns back and says, you are free to visit me in Cormgarn Cavern. We may go immediately if you wish. I will bring my brother there and do what I can, but I fear that he looks over at him and says, there may be not much we can do aside from offer him to the earth. Tell me, do you travel with others?
Yes.
The stone spoke of others.
Well, yes, my friends here in the immediate area, and they're with me, or more, I'm with them. But either way.
Really quick, while you're going through this discussion, I'm flagging down one of the guards to try and have him give me his cloak so I can wrap up the demonic head.
Thank you. I was gonna see if Ron, can you grab that, since he probably thinks it's a trophy of his victory, since he did the killing blow, so to speak.
When you say guards, you mean like the Durgar guards or like one of the other general guards?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, what has the cloak?
Yeah, I will say this. If you turn to one of the normal guards and you're like, give me your cloak, he's like,
That'll work.
They're not going to mess with people who took down a stone giant.
That'll work.
Cool.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to make sure that that was done before
Good call.
we had to retcon.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And I know
while you're talking, you're wrapping up the head in the cape.
And I know since Laura's not here, he's going to be screaming at his camera if he watches this, but I'm assuming he's going to want to have some quality time with the head to drain it of demonic stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, what's your passive perception, Taston? And Liam?
Mine's 14 for passive perception.
14.
13.
13. Okay. You're like, well, obviously, Mark's going to want some head time, right?
Doesn't sound better. No,
he's all about. Well, at least I didn't say Mark wants some head. Okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Mark seems to have disappeared.
While I'm getting the cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm guessing I don't notice that he has disappeared.
Yes, this was the passive perception check.
Mm.
If you want to, you can. You notice now you can try and spend some time scanning for him with an active check if you would like.
Well,
or you can just be like, he's probably doing something.
Once I get a cloak, I'm going to be looking for the head. So now I'm looking for the head. And
okay, he may have already drained it. Got it. Okay.
No, the head's still there.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. It's not like he absconded with the head or anything like that. I definitely would not have just been like, oh, he's just gone.
Poof.
No.
Anyway, you guys were having a conversation about.
Yes.
Right. So, is he stable enough to move at this point without severe injury?
Unless he takes damage or remains in his condition for a long time. Yes.
Okay.
The stone speaker, so the stone giant, goes over here and he bends down and says, "I will carry him to the cavern."
Do you have a way of treating him?
It is for the earth to decide. I myself do not have a way, but perhaps Scoreas does.
Okay. Great. Let's do that.
You, and he points at Liam, Ront, and Haston. You, I know of you through Smooth Hands. Yes, you're the ones that he spoke of.
Okay. Have we met Smooth Hands? I'm
Um,
asking him.
he says, you have his mark on him, on you rather. Oh, but perhaps he went by another name, the Deep Brother, perhaps.
Nope.
I got
Smooth
nothing.
Hands, Deep Brother. I'm like, did he look like an illithid?
I certainly hope not.
Okay, good. That marks one off the list. Okay. Did he look like? No. This is gonna
It's
take
strange
forever.
you have not met him. The Deep Brother is a patron deity of the Snurf Neblin, the Deep Gnomes.
Oh, okay. Now I'm okay. Yes, I didn't know he was referred to as Smooth Hands. He was one of the clerics at the.
Oh, a cleric? No. He would
Not
not
cleric.
have been a cleric
Priest?
unless he had come in mortal form.
The ghost, who was the original caretaker. Okay. Who tasked me with cleaning the catacombs in the city. Right. Okay. Now I remember. I didn't know he was referred to as Smooth Hands. That's literally not in my notes. He went by a different name.
No, actually, being religiously trained, you know that he's referring to the temple that you went and got the mark at, the blessing. The deity who gave it to you is known as Smooth Hands or the Deep Brother.
Ah, okay.
That's why his name doesn't match up to that guy.
Okay.
It's not the same person.
Gotcha.
Well, he says, come, while you are within my presence, and he looks at the Duergar guards pointedly, is the stone speaker's blessing is upon you, and they will walk freely within the city, as is in my right. And Duergar like, oh, whatever. So he picks up this guy. Well, they merge, apparently.
They have fusion.
He says, you may come now, or you may visit me later. Either way, I am leaving now.
Well, if you have information about his condition, I would definitely want to know that, since that seems to be relevant to what's going on in the city. What do you think,
Yes.
Liam?
And there is a message for you, bright one that the stones carry.
Okay.
I can certainly come with you if you'd like, but
We do also have that other task.
which one?
Right. Yeah. No, there's the overarching task. There's the current task, and then there's the quick and dirty now task. Yeah.
I'm not suggesting we split the party. I'm just
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we had anything per se immediate that we needed to do.
No, not really. I mean, it was basically find out about the higher up nobleman who is causing like issues in the city, and basically the Drow want us to kill him. We don't really want to kill him. We just want to discredit him to get him out. The problem is with this, we are high visibility right now. So trying to, gather information without being seen is going to be really fun to try and do when we just like took on a stone giant in the middle of the city. So we may want to try and get our wanted level down a little bit before
Car painted.
I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Go hide out for a while.
Yeah.
The cops.
So go with now and
Yeah.
let the heat die down, as it were.
That's my thought.
Okay. So the stone giant, begins leading everyone out. And he seems, although the Durgar seem a bit annoyed that he's just telling them what to do, they seem to respect his authority, whoever this one may be. And as he walks out, he starts heading directly away from any place that you've been before. Almost directly away from that hold that you were in before when you were the Tane and Lean that you went to gather them. He starts that direction, then takes a hard right angle turn from that. Begins going more towards the outer portion of the city. As a matter of fact, I could even trace your path down here if you'd like to see. So you start over here. And you cross this crevasse here. And of course, you've been over here before. There are homes. This is more of the poor district where they actually have to live down in this crevasse here. You can see caves there. You head towards some of the clan districts, and then you take a hard turn here and begin heading into what looks like a more you don't want to say natural cave because that's not quite what it is, but it's almost like somebody had taken giant hands and molded out the path that you're going through like they would putty. So it looks very both natural and unnatural at the same time. And this place is obviously sized for giants, leaving him with a lot of room in the cave. And it starts descending down and down and down. You get the feeling this is probably several hundred feet below where you previously were. The smog of the industry in the city lessens as you come down here. The sounds lessen. You're no longer at disadvantage for hearing-based perception. As you get down here, especially you, Taston, you feel. You ever go around with like one sense like dulled for a while, and then suddenly there's like a snap, and you realize it's like immediately come back, like your allergies just lifted, or you had a headache, and suddenly that's wake up and it's gone. You're like, I can see more clearly now.
Okay.
It's almost like that coming down here, not for your physical senses, but for your spiritual connection.
Oh, okay.
And you kind of just immediately realize, even you, Liam, your connection to Azuth, you realize that this has not been at its full strength for probably some time now, because you've just gotten so used to the default state. And it just seems to be picking up more and more as you're going down here. And you're like, this is how I remember it. This is how it used to be. And as you get further down into this cavern, it opens up into a much larger area. And you see, both of you have perceptions high enough to see this. You see what looks like strange, misshapen rocks lying all over this cavern. But you recognize them after looking at them for a second or two as stone giants in various states of what looks like meditation or sleep or contemplation. They're so still that they are almost just like rock formations, with the exception that you can just see them slightly breathing. Just ever so slightly. And as you get down here, like this is in full blast. The spiritual connection is in full blast. You are inundated with it at this point. It almost is to the point where you can hear like different little thoughts in your head as you're going around here. And maybe it's actual physical thoughts coming through here. Maybe it's not, but this seems to be a very, for lack of a better term, a very holy place. And the stone speaker lays the other giant who is unconscious down on the floor. And he says, this is where he shall lay, and if Scoreus wills it, he will recover. Otherwise, he will return to the earth.
Okay. I'm going to do a religion check to see if that's like a deity name or just a person.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. 17.
17. Okay. You do recognize it as a little bit obscure, but you do recognize it as Scoreus Stonebones. And he is actually a titan worshipped by stone giants, worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Not a whole lot to this deity, as far as you know. There's not a whole lot known about him. Giant pantheon. He's also known as the King of the Rock or the Great Creator. Very neutral, very artistic. He kind of goes in line with the ideals of the stone giants, very based on prophecy and gaining knowledge. So that is, you are pretty sure who he is referring to, which aligns perfectly with what you're seeing here.
Okay. I couldn't understand what he was saying. He said things to me when we were trying to fight the demonic head, but the demonic head I did understand, and I can tell you what it said and see if that means anything to you.
Yes, please. And feel free to speak of the demons in this place. You are outside the realm of the guards here. They will not detain you or imprison you for speaking of these things.
Okay. So basically what he seemed to say,
Hold on just a second before you start that.
Okay.
I'm going to start just praying to Azuth really quick for him to hear through me what the demon was saying as Taston is reciting it.
Okay. So you start doing that, Liam, as you're reciting it, Taston.
Okay.
And Liam, you've uttered prayers to Azuth before, even in this very campaign.
Yeah.
And again, you're like, wow, like this time I actually feel like he's hearing me. It's not just, oh, I did it and then nothing happened, right? Which seems to have been the case for, now that you can think about it, quite some time now, the past month. And you do feel an understanding kind of flowing through you as Taston is reciting this. So what I'll do is this. Taston, as you're reciting this, I'll let you roll a religion check.
Okay.
And Liam, just almost unconsciously, you get some thoughts about this coming through, which if you choose to recite, will give Taston advantage on his religion check as you receive some knowledge from Azuth about this.
What? Say that again.
Yeah. So Azuth is providing you with some knowledge about this.
Okay.
As Taston is speaking with it.
Right. So, but Taston is doing a religion check. Okay. And then what am I doing?
If you would like, you can share the knowledge to provide Taston with an advantage on the check.
So Taston's going to do the religion check after he finishes reciting? Or am I interrupting him?
No, you're not interrupting him. It's after he finishes reciting.
Okay, hence my confusion.
Yeah, sorry.
No, same time. Do it.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, yeah. I will definitely provide any insight that I'm receiving.
Okay. First one's a 5. That's not going to work well. And this 15. Okay. We'll go with that. 15 at 3. That's 18.
18. Okay. So just to give the full thing of what the stone giant was saying, because I don't think we've said it on stream yet, even though we have it in Discord. Here's the full translation of it. It says, "The shores of the silver heaven cry out at the dimming of her stars. in Liam, you know that, and this halfway comes to you and halfway is something that you recall. You know that the Silver Heaven refers specifically to a place called Olympus. And that is a divine realm, basically. It is known as the realm of like a lot of good deities, and is generally seen as like the first layer of defense against the good realm. The second part is the lion defends from a river of blood untraversed. And Paston, you would know that you hear that and you're like, well, this is obviously like a prophetic stuff, right? So I'm trying to make connections. And you figured that the lion is probably referring to a specific defender that is known to be like a good defender of the good deities, called Beirakia. Also part of the Silver Heaven. Liam, some of this stuff is kind of coming together. You're like, well, now that we're on, we're thinking about divine stuff, right? This is like, what is all this connection to? And there is something that you're familiar with, because this has to do fairly heavily with arcane stuff, with summoning specifically along the demonic stuff. Not that I'm saying you summon demonic stuff, but this is like well known for conjurers. And that is the River Styx, also known as the River of Blood. And this is heavily a kind of a demonic thing, or fiendish thing rather, more specifically, because this is the place they have to cross in order to like get to other planes. Otherwise they have to be like summoned out, right? Conjured out. And this is generally seen as a barrier. That's why you don't just go to, to the abyss. You're like, hey, you come with me, and then come back, because like this is like the barrier, right? They have to traverse this to get there. The second part is the rock is devoured and the land overgrown as the pebble believes itself flesh. That one's a little more obscure. Both of you combined kind of think that may have something to do with just the land being corrupted in general. Next part is the earth reject its wards and the tunnels shake in fury. Liam, you are pretty sure that this is referring to portals to and from the different realms, because like earth wards are another name for this. And also they're talking about tunnels and stuff. And tasked in the next part where it says the burrow is clean, leaving 8 stones which speak lies. Mm-hmm. This is some fairly heavily religious symbolism. But generally, anything that's referring to like a pattern of 8 or something like that does refer to a specific demon, one which you have probably heard about before and which is fairly infamous, named Loth. So definitely heavy prophecy stuff, but with both arcane and religious knowledge, you are both able to piece some of this together. And Liam, as you're praying to Azuth, you definitely get this intense feeling of not worry, but of seriousness of the importance of the situation. Like Azuth is impressing upon you that, like, listen to this. This is important.
Also, this is the second time we've had demonic elements that talk about Lolth. The previous time being the message from my brother about there being a hole in the guest house that needs plugging this year. Grandmother's going home soon, but she did basically the Jim Jar's translation of you need to get someone to know that a female spider is going to break free regard/prison very soon and kill everyone. So this falls in line with that. So bad is kind of where this is going.
Yeah, the stone speaker, and I'm assuming you're discussing this out in public in front of him, unless you just want to keep it to yourself. But he says, this is amongst the messages that I have received as well. But they have asked specifically for you. And he points at Taston. There is one sending them. Not a deity, but someone from some realm beyond, through the stones. Do you know who this is?
I believe I know who the messenger is, but I don't have a way of getting to them.
Who would this be?
Here's where I get kind of like, do I want to really show that particular hand? Fuck it, I'll go with it. So yeah, my brother was taken, and he's the one who sent the message, the first message, by shuttling it through his captors with a half crazed drow who got sent back from the portal with was she sent with the mirror, or she was trying to find the mirror? Okay.
She found it. She didn't have it with her.
Okay. She was sent back. She found the mirror.
Oh, right. No.
Did the Gorgon have the mirror?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was like, who had the mirror to begin? Okay. So we sent back. She was looking for the mirror. The Gorgon had the mirror. We captured her and took the mirror, but she was being tracked. We've removed that tracking as far as we know. She's no longer being monitored, but she had the message from my brother from the other side. And is it from the abyssal realm?
That I do not know.
This is where it gets a little fuzzy for me, because the difference between devils and demons are actually different.
Mm-hmm.
In D&D. They're not all thrown together, and they don't like each other, and you really want to get that right. If explaining.
Yeah, so just as a base religious knowledge, if you're proficient at, you would know that there's like up here, which is fiends.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main category. And there's devils and demons, and then there's Eugalos, but we don't talk about those.
Right.
And devils are the lawful evil ones. Demons are the chaotic evil ones.
Okay.
And they are constantly at war with each other through a great war called the Blood War.
Got it. Okay.
As a matter of fact, you picked up a few books about that a couple weeks back. But it's known as like the internal struggle, right? And supposedly, and this is half maybe truth, half maybe just something that people tell each other to feel better. They're locked in an eternal struggle with each other.
Mm-hmm.
For dominance in the Nine Hells, and that is what keeps them in check and from flooding over to other planes.
Okay.
So, maybe myth, maybe true, who knows?
So if I'm understanding this somewhat correctly, it sounds like Lolth is making a break for Olympus and trying to set up shop and kill or corrupt Olympus, potentially.
Stone Speaker says, Lolth, those like to cause trouble. I've been alive many years and have seen several of her schemes. I would not be at all surprised if she was attempting something like that, although any assault seems somewhat unlike Law 3 is not that powerful compared to the denizens of Mount Olympus. Your contact, your brother, what said he was captured? How can he be sending messages if he is a prisoner? What type of creature is he?
A human, just as me.
Oh.
We were trying to stop a lich from summoning a demon, and he was dragged into the abyss to contain the demon.
So he looks at you seriously and he says, "Do you believe these messages? Or do you feel it is some sort of trick?"
I don't have any evidence one way or the other, so I have to believe them as they stand. If nothing else, they seem to be consistent in their theme, but there's not much we can act on at this time other than the warnings and portents.
If I remember correctly, the drow woman, in her visions, she was seeing your brother when she was in the other realm.
Yes, and I'm trying to remember, was she seeing him cooperate? Or
just as a refresher, yes and no. What she had seen, and she seemed to be somewhat in a daze, probably enchantment of some sort when this was happening, but he was amongst the presence of demons, but they seemed to be ignoring him up until he shoved her through the portal.
With the mirror.
Yeah.
Or not the mirror.
No, with the coin.
With
the medallion that he had scratched the message in.
Yes.
The medallion. Yeah.
He did seem to be, if you had to guess, he did seem to be trying to blend in. Okay. He wasn't wearing I'm going to kill demons armor or anything like that. He didn't look like He didn't look like a paladin.
Yeah, just straight up decked out.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So he may have been. It was described as trying to keep to himself and hide. And as to why he shoved the drow through the portal rather than coming himself, that I can't say for certain. That's the part that doesn't make too much sense.
And this is the stone speaker speaking. I would not know as well, but we do not know much. Perhaps there's a reason he wants to be there.
Or someone else is protecting.
I might regret bringing this up, but if you feel it would be the correct course of action, we could attempt to bring him here across the plains.
You could do that?
Well, I shouldn't have brought this up.
Oh, sure. Well, I've got this cake in the back, but you probably wouldn't like it.
It is, how do you say, complicated. In short, yes. The long answer is with some proper materials, yes. I have the knowledge to conduct interdimensional gates, but it does require an incredible cost. Only specific types of gems of incredible value allow this to happen, and only once. It sometimes, to be quite honest with you, it does not work all the time, as you either need to have the permission of the deity who rules that realm, or they must be preoccupied with something else. So it does not work all the time.
Okay.
Thank you for that resub, Tazara. Greatly appreciate that, man.
This is why I did not wish to bring it up. I see you already have some sort of expectation.
If it could free my brother, I would give you everything I have, but it doesn't sound like it would be enough.
Well, he looks at you and says,
I've got $20. I got $20.
Oh, well, in that case,
exactly. Yeah.
We're actually really poor. That's actually a lot to me.
The exchange rate's amazing here.
Yeah. No. He says, no, he goes over to a wall, and you can see a circle of stones arranged on the ground next to it. And it looks like they're obviously placed in a circular pattern. And he points to a rather large stone which has an indentation in it. A rather large one, like you can probably fit your head into it. He says, this has not been used for likely many hundreds of years, but this is where it would take place, and this is where the gem would sit. And he points at the place the size of your head. He says, I only know of one such gem in this city which would allow this to happen. And it is currently in the hoard of the Red Dragon, who lights the forges in this city.
Of course it is.
No, where else would it be?
Right. No, that all tracks.
Guarded over by the keepers of the flame, and of course the dragon itself.
Hold on just a moment, Third. Thank you, Tazara. Wow. He just did the 5 gift subs.
Oh,
so
very cool.
Wow.
Standard.
It's going to take a moment for the system to catch up. So.
Wait, just do it every time somebody shares the sub stuff. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. That's incredibly generous.
That's the diamond. That's much it's worth. Actually, coincidentally enough, it's five subs, right? The diamond actually does have to be worth 5,000 pieces.
Okay.
We're talking like a huge walking rock.
This is, yeah.
And yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Like that stupid Pink Panther sized diamond that they have in the movies. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. This is like more wealth than most people have.
Cool. We'll just stroll on down to the corner jeweler and pick one of those up because,
Yes. Well, maybe it is obvious to you now why this has not been done
in
quite some time.
What's that commercial? He went to Jared's?
Yeah.
Well, that's the leader of the Keepers of Flame. How did you know, Jared?
Jared.
So it is now.
Yes. Perfect. Hi, I'm Jared.
I am Grundon Rockseeker. I'm Jared. So he says, this is, I apologize. This is why I did not want to mention it. It says, I am a stone speaker, and thus I have certain privileges within the city, but I cannot walk up to a giant, the horde of a dragon, and demand a gem from him.
No, that would be rather
quite
bold.
poorly.
Okay, so
plus they have to keep the dragon happy in order for it to light the forges in the city. Otherwise, you have a very angry dragon loose in the city.
That sounds bad. Yeah. All right. What if we give the mirror to the dragon in exchange for the diamond?
I I do.
There's
not know.
no way that can go well because giving a vision mirror to a dragon seems like a bad idea to begin with. Especially it's a red dragon, right?
It is a red dragon.
Yeah, that's the other part that I'm still having a little trouble with. Red dragons are typically not, or is it non-Dragonlance style? Like red dragons are considered evil because they're chromatic, versus the metallic dragons, or if that tracks with this. With it's been a while since I've looked at Forgotten Realms like that.
That's the general knowledge. Although
Okay.
if either of you want to make, or both of you want to make a knowledge nature check.
Oh, this will go well.
Yeah.
Knowledge nature 0. Okay, straight knowledge check.
I got a 7.
A 7. Okay.
A 6. Okay, Ron. Come on, Ron. What do you got for me? Ron got a 17, which makes no sense. No.
I mean, Ron probably has experience with them eating some of his tribe years ago.
Yes, that makes sense.
So he's like, oh, breathe fire.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The general knowledge that both of you know is that in general, chromatic dragons they do trend towards evil, but not like, haha, Saturday morning cartoon villain evil.
Yeah.
They can be reasoned with, but the common knowledge is don't get into that situation because they'll probably try and screw you over.
Well, because I thought like the green dragons were more of the scheming type, maniacal, whereas red were just like, I will kill you because I want to, if I want to.
Well, this is the general 6 and 7 roll knowledge.
Yep, perfect. It all tracks.
Yeah. So
when the dragon has 5 heads, is that okay? Yeah. Oh,
that's
God.
A religion check, actually. You know a lot about that.
Yeah. So Tiamat, let me talk about Tiamat for a minute.
That's actual evil. Yeah, you could tell everyone all about Tiamat. But yeah, it's, not great to bargain with, although can be bargained with as far as you know. Depends on the dragon, right? A lot depends on the individual.
Okay.
So Stone Speaker says,
I've come to bargain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Just need a time, Joan.
The Stone Speaker says, I can see in your eyes that you're considering it. If you at all wish to try and bargain for this gem, all I ask is if you maintain it, or if you obtain it in a unscrupulous manner, please don't lead them back here. I have many privileges as Stone Speaker. Define the Keepers of the Flame is not one of them.
Okay. Are the Keepers of the Flame another embassy, or are they part of the city proper as like a division of the city workforce?
The Stone Speaker thinks for a moment and says, how to explain this? They are officially part of the city. They're not the military. They are more like a special division of the government.
Okay.
They are an order of clerics that are specifically devoted to serving and keeping the dragon happy. The current dragon, his name is Themberchaud. It is actually quite old. It is fairly common practice to slay the dragon once it gets too old and use one of the eggs that they have in order to birth and hatch a new dragon to take its place. Safety precautions. What goes on beyond that, I would not know. I have never been inside their council. This is just what I have seen during my time here from the outside. The Keepers of the Flame do have great political sway. Anything that they want, they will get, because keeping the dragon happy and the forges lit is paramount in this city. So even though they are not technically higher than the Council of Lords. They exhibit almost as much political sway as they do.
Okay.
They have the ear of the king, of the Deep King.
So I'm wondering if there's a way to either solve the issue with the current king's demonic edicts, or edicts revolving around demonic elements, and release the lockdown in the city, or find a way to... I'm trying to think if there's like a way we could use this order to discredit the noblemen and the council to try and solve the problem that way. And no, either way, the Drow say they can get us out of the city, but that's neither here nor there because we haven't completed that process. My plan is to retrieve my brother one way or the other, but it's not something I'm willing to like anger a dragon or raise the city to do.
Thank you.
I mean, ultimately, that's not how I want this to go.
Yes. The Stone Speaker seems to think for a minute. He says, as you've no doubt noticed, the demonic corruption in this city has been growing frighteningly large. I did not think it was so bad until today. And he points at the other stone giant laying on the ground.
Yes, one would say to giant proportions.
Yes.
Yep. That's... Yeah, I'll take a negative.
He shoves you out and then closes the door.
Goodbye, yeah, no, that's the correct response.
No, he says, this is a holy place, and he was a priest of a cleric of our order. It is, until today, it was unthinkable that any of our kind could be corrupted at such a deep level. Which does tell me that there may have been a willingness. I would have expected this amongst the Darrow, perhaps even amongst some rare few in the Duergar, but not in our own priesthood. This is incredibly concerning, and to hear you say we do not wish to destroy the city if the corruption becomes very deep here. The stone giants may do this.
Okay.
It would be better to leave this city in rubble than to allow it to become a demon-infested hellhole.
I had not considered that as a possibility, so I guess that option would be on the table as well. That seems really bad. Thinking back to what was the name of the fishing village that we went to first at the lake that had the main demon show up?
The catchy name of Sloopla-Doop?
I thought that's what it was, but no, that can't be what its name. It's literally named Sloop-a-Doop. Yeah, when that all went sideways, so yeah, we don't want to repeat of that.
What do you mean it went sideways? That worked perfectly.
For us to run away, but that's
everything
no
according to plan.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it was fine. We set him on fire. It was good. Yeah, but wasn't that the one where we set the totem on fire and it actually made the problem infinitely worse?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah, that was part of the plan. Okay. So what possible motive would your brethren have to want to be part of the demonic possession or situation?
I do not know.
Could this have been done to him?
I would hope it was, and it was not willing.
Okay.
But I do not know of any. I don't know of any force that would be able to force this transformation upon someone.
Okay. Because he seemed to be in a lot of pain when it first happened, and then seemed to be very distressed when the demonic head was trying to rampage through, as I was trying to stop it from rampaging, and when I cut it off.
Or
when Ron cut it off. Got to give credit where credit's due.
Ron's like, yeah. The Stone Giant's like, I don't know about him, but he's touched by smooth hands, so he's okay. He says, well, that does bring me comfort, as strange as that might sound, that it was not likely willingly. I don't know. This is something that I will have to meditate upon, to speak to the stones, and perhaps they will have new prophecies for me now that I have brought you here, and I will not hear any more of this old prophecy.
So why did you say that it was me that you were looking for specifically? Is it because of smooth hands? Or is it because I have Dawnbringer?
Well, all of that. I had heard speaking through the stones that there was one who I was to meet to deliver a prophecy to, and it would be recognized by a great glow unlike any that I had seen for years.
Oh, okay.
And that he would be accompanied by ones touched by the deep brother. And there's, well, I say that was, it was not so quite straightforward, but I am translating it for you, for your benefit.
Okay.
And that is how I knew there had been nothing that had met that criteria up until exactly that point, and I know.
Okay. Do you know why he was in that part of the city at that time?
He thinks for a minute. This guy's almost like an ant. Like, you'll ask him a question and then he'll like think for like an actual minute and then respond. He says, there would be no reason I know of to be in that area. And the only thing I could possibly think of is he was doing business there, which seems unlikely since he had no possessions on him. It is possible he was looking into the Council of Savants. But no, that's very far away from there. To tell you the truth, I do not know. There is nothing that I know of over there that would have had the interest of one of our priesthood. We normally are in this cavern, or we are attending to the Deep King if he seeks our knowledge. Other than that, we have no real reason to leave. As you can see, I mean, my brothers are here, and he points around the cavern. Many of them have not moved for years and years. I'm by far the most active, only out of necessity, political necessity.
Okay. Liam, what do you think?
As far as what?
As far as what we should probably do next, we could continue looking into see if there's anything that ties this demonic possession to something. I mean, we haven't really looked at the head too much as to what's going on with that. Yep, Clash of the Titans, perfect.
Hey there.
Yeah. Oh, that's just gross.
I'm beside myself.
Little goody two shoes. Little... Oh, sorry.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say this has kind of run its course unless we want to continue to like try to investigate what's going on, but that seems like we don't have a lot to go on per se, but
At this point, I don't think we should not to be callous, but I don't think we should focus on the gem for your brother.
as much as I hate to say it, I agree that that's not something it's not feasible right now. Not to say that it's not going to be a thought in the back of my mind, and if the opportunity avails itself, I'm probably going to be very interested in making that happen, but I was still planning on finding a way to get back to him or getting him back anyway, but we have more immediate concerns, and that makes perfect sense.
I agree. I think we may be able to find some other people in the town that could look into the head and maybe do some research. Maybe they can find some more information on the demonic head.
Okay.
Unless your friend wants to try and take a look, but I don't know how he is with researching these kinds of things. I certainly don't have any facilities.
And the Stone Speaker says, I have nothing here that would allow me to gain much insight into this, aside from what the stones tell me. This seems like something that, to put it bluntly, would be a task for one who is not devoted to prophecy like myself, someone who is more in the present. He thinks for a second, or for a minute rather, and says, allow me to grant you a boon that may help you in this. And he reaches up to one of the stones and he breaks off what looks like a crystal that's protruding from it. And this isn't like, like a 500K crystal. This is like just,
Quartz.
a crystal. It's kind of,
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's like this 19-inch long shard, right? So like it's, a little thing for him, but like an actual, long piece for you. And he looks at both of you and he closes his eyes and he seems to be communing or meditating for just a moment. And Liam, you get like a burst again, like when you were communing with Azuth before, when he does this. And just about that time, he opens his eyes and then he hands it to you, Liam.
Okay.
And he says, it is meant for you to have this.
We'll take it and look. What am I looking at?
Well, you may make an Arcana check on this if you would like.
Ooh, that I might actually succeed.
It's the dark crystal. Yep.
With my +7, I got an 8.
Oh. Well, have you used the Platy roll yet?
I have not.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we're using Platy rolls here. Other than I don't think Platy's in chat because she's been having computer problems.
Gotcha. Well, how about we can have somebody take the place of Platy. Darth Tyrant. Darth Tyrant can do a Tyrant roll. And this is just I think you get up to 3. And this is literally just, here's some second chances. Good or bad.
So a D20, if you would, sir.
Yes, sorry, D20.
Oh,
16.
16.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
That's so 22.
Okay.
No, 23.
Okay. So the first thing you tell is obviously you're looking at an item that is steeped in magic, like an actual magic item. You feel like this is definitely both arcanely and divinely charged.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. It's like a hybrid of both things. You do believe this does require attunement.
Okay.
It is a straight up wondrous item. And you can see just the ley lines interacting with this, and you hazard a guess that you'll be able to learn. Well, number one, you'll be able to learn the actual full results of this either by attuning to it or by using identify on it.
Okay.
But because you're a good roll, I will give you this. You believe that this functions in a similar manner to a wand. And it also is acting as an amplification of a certain subset of your spells. You suspect that based on where it has been inundated with magic, it is likely a divination enhancement. And also potentially something that would help you just in normal research. Like this just seems to be a divination and knowledge like conduit.
Okay.
Yeah. To get like super specifics, you would need to either identify or attune, but you're pretty sure you've identified like what this thing can do in general. So this is kind of an all-in-one almost.
I'm going to turn to Taston. We'll need to go back to the marketplace.
Okay. Before we leave, if I could have a moment, since this is a place that I can feel a lot of holy energy, I do want to take a moment to pray and give thanks to Kellenborg.
Okay.
And would we be allowed to come back here?
Yes, you are welcome here. You are welcome here anytime. It is the least I can do for your help in assisting my brother.
Then I have a plan.
Okay.
I am glad.
So I'm going to take a moment and pray and give thanks to Kellenborg for guiding me along this path and giving me a possibility of hope.
Okay. So you do so, and much like Liam, and I mean, you have a personal connection to this. I mean, you are a cleric after all. You devoted your life to this.
Mm-hmm.
Not to downplay Azuth and but
Wow.
His class is cleric. Yeah, this is definitely like way stronger than because you have to pray every morning for spells and stuff. Mm-hmm. You felt a connection then, but here it is just so amplified, like a legitimate holy place, and you feel the pure connection for quite some time that you haven't felt for quite some time. Rather. Mm-hmm. It's not, a physical manifestation, but you can definitely feel the presence of Kellenborg here, and you do feel him reaching out and almost apologetically, which is a little weird for Kellenborg. Like, he hasn't been attending properly to his followers because he has been occupied, as has apparently other deities,
most of the pantheon.
Mm-hmm. And offering you a choice. If you are willing to, and you already have, but to seal the deal, to permanently, with all of your might, be his champion here, then he can provide this connection even when you leave this place. perhaps to you and others around you.
Okay.
He's offering you a chance to be a conduit, for lack of a better term.
No.
But there's no going back after this.
I mean, that's right. So since my character would think about it and say, well, yes, that makes perfect sense. I'm already in your service, so being a conduit for you is kind of my thing to that degree. So yeah,
Does seem an easy choice.
okay.
Okay, so you do so, and you feel, and even you feel this, Liam. And you can tell that the stone speaker feels this as well. There's just this energy that just washes around this cavern. A couple of the stone giants in here, they start speaking in giant chanting. And at this point in time, we can do something we have been waiting to do for a little while. So remember a long time ago when we talked about those specific benefits for following a deity? Well, Tassin, now that you're a conduit and can actually offer yourself and people around you a connection despite whatever interference is going on right now to these deities, I will allow you to pick some of these benefits. Now, where is it? I'm going to send you a link, and we can look at this after the session if you'd like.
Sure.
But there are some deities listed out here, and they aren't necessarily like Azuth and Kellenvor and stuff. But you can take a look at these, and if you're like, this aligns with what I think I want and what the benefit would be, then you can choose that line of benefit. And it'll be things like, and it'll say things like, at a certain piety level you get this, a certain piety level you get this. Assume for right now that you have the second level of it, which will be piety level 10. It'll just be like the first and second benefits of it. Here we go, right here. I'm going to post this in chat here. So if you go all the way down to the bottom, there is going to be a listing called the gods. And, again, these have like Greek names on them right now. But if you click on them, you'll see at the bottom a listing under like devotion to whatever their name is. So like, for example, it'll say so-and-so's devotee, and it'll say as devotee, you gain blah, 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 blah. The next one will be like piety 10 plus. Then you gain this blah, 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 blah. So any of those look good, then you may devote yourselves to that and gain the benefits up to 10, as long as you remain following the ideals of your deity, which so far hasn't been a problem.
Okay.
Although Tastin, if you fall harder than the rest. That's the only catch.
Right. Okay. Yeah. If I deviate, it all goes sideways. Got it.
Yeah. It's not just lose clerical powers, it's maybe something else.
It's really bad.
Although, I mean, I actually never had that happen in the game, so most people don't just be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Straight to the dark side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once Lore gets back, we'll see what he decides to do, because he was deciding between maybe not following one at all, I think, which is actually a path. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to have him like in the middle of this room, because I was like, I don't want to choose for him. All right. Before we do anything else, what time do you have to get off, Guido? You don't have night shift yet?
No. Okay. I'm not back to work yet.
Okay. All right. No.
It's Tastin and your schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good for a little while longer. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good for probably like another 45 or about
Okay.
that.
We can do that then.
So you mentioned you had a plan, Liam.
Aye. So first, we'll have to take the head to someone who can properly research the demonic nature of it. Then I have to stop by the marketplace and pick up something and come back here.
Okay.
Now, we've got a couple of options for who we can give this head to. I'm trying to remember the party member that was with us that was kind of researchy, but I can't remember who they were.
Was that the guy who kept claiming he had a lab?
Yeah.
That was Bupido, yeah.
Yeah, Bupido. But they have a lab in this city.
That is what he claimed.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Because he supposedly is from here.
Right. So we can find Bupido and see if he can give us any information on it. Or he might have some idea of who else might be a better option. Well, thanks for stopping by, Darth. Tyron, appreciate you hanging out while you could.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Oh, also as a point of reference, and the stone speaker will tell you this, if you do end up deciding to go and talk to the Keepers of the Flame or do anything with them, they are located over here. Also, the dragons in there too.
Perfect.
That's he knows that's the lair entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's never been in there, but yep. And that Liam, that kind of tracks as well with when you first saw them going around and lighting the forges. That's where it started.
I can't move it.
Yeah,
so.
it
Yeah,
does
why?
actually move them afterwards, which is real annoying. Yep. That's where the Keepers of the Flame are, or the King of Fighters.
Right.
Doesn't matter. But that's my plan anyway.
That sounds reasonable.
Very
Might
well.
know.
Also, where's Mark?
Answers over.
Uh,
Last time I saw him, he was beating up that thing, and he points at the head.
I wasn't sure if he actually came with us down here after running off, or if he has still disappeared.
He is still disappear.
Okay. We should also probably find Mark.
Right. So we go retrieve Mark and then go see Bupido.
Very well.
Especially since the drow is with Bupido.
Are they?
As I seem
Yeah.
to remember, we did that hand signal to get.
Oh, that drow.
Yeah, that one. The
Sorry,
drow we can't seem to get rid of.
I was
Yeah,
thinking of the other drow that.
Oh, the one that's guarding us from afar,
or the well, yeah.
or the other drow. Oh God, there's so many of them. They all want us dead.
Welcome to the Underdark.
Yeah, I know. Really, you don't say.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of people from the group that came here, which are in different places of the city. Like the caravan leader is still. I mean, you haven't seen her, and Glabagul.
It's
And
probably still in
Cuillin.
customs at this point.
Yeah, and Bupido's off somewhere. Mark's somewhere. The drow is supposedly with Bupido. Yeah, I think that's it.
So the Glabagul is the giant
The sentient gelatinous cube.
sentient gelatinous
Who
cube.
really just wants to be your friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, who knows what's happening with that dude?
oh,
I know, right?
okay. I have to send you guys a link to a song. What about the stone elemental?
Oh, that as far as you know, that did have to go through customs. So basically, probably the same place where Airy and the cube are.
Okay. So, all right.
It's the last thing you know about them.
So, off to Bupido.
All right then.
Unless the marketplace is on the way.
So the problem is you don't actually know where Bupido's lab is. He never told anybody. He was just like, I'm going to go there. And he did give you the signal to call Droki, who apparently knows about this stuff. So that's the lead that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to summon him again, probably.
Well. All right. Let's head back to somewhere where it's not going to be as difficult for Sneaky Guy to get in and out of.
Right.
In the middle of the marketplace. Yeah, that was
Right. Yeah, probably not the
That was kind of a dick move.
the public place. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they've got maps of the city around here. You know, the mall type maps, that kind of stuff. So where would you like to do it? And of course, Liam, you get stopped every few seconds, but you got the pass. You know the drill at this point.
We didn't get a second pass from the stone giant.
He doesn't have any passes.
Okay. They just let him pass.
They just
He is the pass. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the pass.
Okay. Just wanted
It's
to
like diplomatic immunity, that kind of stuff. Apparently, you can ask him about it if you want to, but that seemed like nobody stopped him. They were just like, "Oh yeah, it's him."
diplomatic immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere where there's not a bunch of guards. So wherever.
Okay. So go ahead and make me a perception check then, and you would know this. Because Duragar can turn invisible, it is sometimes difficult to find places where you're for sure know there aren't any guards. You kind of have to be on the lookout for them, even if they're not visible.
That's an unnatural 20.
Wow. Okay. So you're going through the places, and you're like, well, and you do actually find a few places that look like they're relatively empty. And then you're like, yeah, but there's some depressed footprints like right there. There's obviously some standing like right there, and they're doing the whole undercover cop thing. Literally. But
yeah, exactly. Super subtle.
Yeah.
What?
One thing you notice, like there's a lot of guards, and you're pretty sure some of them are like different divisions. Like there's the normal guard, and you're like, they're doing some secret police type stuff there, and then undercover. Like this place is very, very secured. But you do manage to find and I need to look at the map just briefly real quick, the one that actually has everything labeled in it for DMs. Yeah. So there's a place over in this area, and this is kind of like, I'll head back towards the marketplace. But over here, where it kind of breaks into a place where like Duragar are living, and also Darrow, like the shorter Bupido type people are living, where you don't see as many guards. It's like, you kind of found a blind spot here, or at least for the moment. At least you think. So you're like, this looks like a good place to do it. You flash the signal?
Yep.
Okay. Do you flash the signal? And it actually takes like much less time now. Maybe you were close to the source, who knows? But within about 30 seconds, you hear the of little feet just flying through the street. And rounding the corner, almost toppling over head over heels, you see Droki appear again, his magically enhanced speed, his little pieced together patchwork hat and bag and clothing, and he comes up to you and stops, skids up the rest of the 10 feet in front of you. Doesn't even seem out of breath, and he says, "You have any more drow for me to haul off?"
Oh, Bupido, we need to see him.
Oh, that guy. Well, all right, if you really want to see him. Sure, not many people do. Yeah. This is what, like 4 favors I've done for you, right?
This would be the second
2.
one.
Second. Really bad at counting. Sorry. Just got to keep track. All right. You 2 look really, you 3 look really, really slow. You want to do this the fast way, or you want to do this the boring way? We're going to be going through some guarded areas.
Whichever way is not going to incur more debt.
Either way, it's fine. Well, wait, I mean, if we're talking debt, though, I mean, wasn't doing anything before, but I can now if you're willing to pay.
Debt in the form of favors.
We'll talk about this later. It doesn't matter either way. If it's up to me, though, I'd prefer to go a little fast. And if I'll hang back if you want to just try and keep up.
No. Whichever is easier for you.
You know what? Just follow me. And he clicks his heels together, and then relaxes a bit. And he seems to be going at a normal pace now when he's walking.
Okay.
So like, just follow me. When I say stop, you stop. When I say hide, you hide. When I say run, you run. Basic stuff, all right? And if you get caught, I'm just leaving.
That's understandable.
Yeah, fair.
All right. So we're heading towards the Whirlstone Tunnels, all right? You know the place?
Do we?
You never heard of it?
No.
Well, good, because it's a secret. That was a test,
tracks.
and you passed.
Great.
All right. So you see this, and he points to this like cleft down here. We're going down there first.
Very well.
All right. So he goes over to the edge, and he starts like climbing down. You can see once you start getting down there, and like it's not a hard climb. It's like you're just stepping down almost. It's obvious that people have been doing this and have placed little holes in the walls to do this. He starts heading down there, and you get into an area which is primarily Darrow inhabited. Compared to the place above the cleft, this is kind of a pit, literally, and there's actual like trash all over the place. You can just smell the crazy on the air when you come down here. There are Darrow with their white hair sticking all over the place, some mitching patches, looks like it's been ripped out or burned out. It's like walking or running around. Some of them are staring at walls and laughing maniacally. Some of them seem relatively normal, but then just break into sudden fights with people they just walk by. You notice that Droki is tending to avoid certain groups of people. Although he seems comfortable around here, some of the Darrow, as they're passing, sneer at him. One of them goes up to him in a threatening manner, and he makes some strange sounds at that Darrow, who just backs off like it was a scolded puppy. And he turns and looks at everybody. He's like, yeah, I run this place. But he heads over here underneath this bridge area, takes a shortcut down here to go around a particular hovel, and then comes over here to what looks like a gate area. Now, this is obviously a gate not meant to be traveled through. This is more of just a security gate, like, we have to have a gate here, but no one's really supposed to go through here. There's not even any guards here. It's just heavily locked up. Like, you see like a massive lock in there, which is probably, has several keys to go with it. There's like a huge mechanism on it. You'd have to spend some time actually looking at this to figure out the engineering and how this is supposed to open, other than just, siege weapons.
Okay.
He doesn't take the gate, though. He starts heading down further into the cleft, and this starts getting into a place where it is no longer lit by any types of artificial light. So you've got dark vision, or I guess you have Dawnbringer as well. If you want to bring Dawnbringer out. Dawnbringer, by the way, has been saying a lot, but you can tell, like, the feelings are just ecstatic. Like, he's still off the high of killing some demon-infested thing. But he heads down further until it reaches about 40 feet below the last hovel, into a rock and dirt floor, which is slightly damp. And you see the entrance to a cave in here. And the reason you see it is that there is a familiar purplish green glow illuminating just inside of it of Phaserus. Yes.
Oh,
and this
God.
this particular bit of Phaserus is a little more active than you've seen before, Liam Test. And it's like actually almost dancing around in a rhythmic pattern. Mm-hmm. And it also, it looks a bit different too, since it's swirling around like stalagmites and stalactites, and it gives it this very interesting light pattern along the walls and the ceilings and the floors. The air also does taste and smells like metallic, which is, not like ozone-like, but almost. And you notice that both of your passives are high enough that the sounds down here are strangely muted. Like, you actually, like, when you hit the ground, you expect to hear this little, a splat when you hit the damp floor, but it makes almost no sound at all. The air, this is obviously some warped magic area around here. So, Liam, this is Phaserus Phase 2. And Droki points like straight into the cave mouth with the phasers dancing around here, and says, "That's where good old buddy Bupido is. If you really want to, I'll lead you to him through there. But I mean, I got places to be, so if you're content with it, you can just, go through there and where you're supposed to go. You just keep heading straight. Don't take any left or right paths. Whatever you do, don't eat anything."
Okay.
And after, let's see, you're going to be moving at normal pace. Probably 5 minutes or so, you'll come to his place. It's got this stupid looking door on it.
Very well.
Okay.
Well, Thank you for your guidance.
Yeah, couple rules, all right? First, don't touch anything that is black and metal, or you'll die. If you meet anyone else but Bupido, kill them, because they'll kill you first. If you see any fungus that's higher than the foot, burn it. Let's see what else.
Clarifying question. Your foot, my foot.
He points at your knee, and he's like about like higher than that.
Okay.
Also, if you do end up, and I know you people are as curious as I'll get out, if you do end up wandering along any of the other paths, you're going to run into cultists. Don't kill those guys. We need them in there to keep out the wolves.
The wolves.
Delicate ecosystem.
Okay.
All right? Those people upstairs are going to be very cross if you kill their cultists.
So, but the cultists don't traverse the main pathway.
Sometimes do. Well, I mean, that goes back to the previous rule. If you meet anyone along your way, kill them before they kill you.
Except not the cultists, because they keep the wolves at bay.
Right. Like don't go wandering off the path and like find a big group of them and like kill them. Like if they're wandering around the path and they die, like that's natural selection.
Ah, very well.
Right.
Darwinism.
Sure. I don't know who the guy is, but sure.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. All right. Sound good?
Okay.
Anything we should know when we leave?
Yeah, if you leave, be thankful. No. Same rules. Same rules in and out. Unless you go a different way, in which case I can't help. Oh, if you do go past his lab and then take a right, there's like a pit trap within the next 500 feet or so. You just look for it.
Okay. If we run into the pit trap, we've gone too far.
Right.
Yeah, no, you haven't gone far enough. Good Lord. Wait, no, you're not small enough. Never mind. All right. Y'all good?
Acid?
Yeah. That about covers it.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing. If I meet you in there and you haven't summoned me, I'm going to try and kill you. All right? Just be ready.
Why would you do that?
Well, why not? That's where I live.
Right, but yeah, okay, whatever.
At that point, you wouldn't be a guest. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. All right. I'll smell you later. And he clicks his heels together, activates his speed, and he scurries up the side and disappears. You notice that as you're going up, you can see somebody has been, like, it looks like another arrow has been watching him, and it's like making hand signals at him. It's different than what you've done, but seems to be communicating with him.
All right.
So you're at the entrance to these tunnels. It is as I have described it. The entrance has phasers on it. It looks like an absolutely wonderful place.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you like to do?
Oh, I'd like to find the nearest black metal and just lick it. So, you know.
But you look around and you don't see
it on the
metal in the menu.
Yeah, as luck would have it. Yeah.
You'd immediately do the opposite of whatever he said.
Yeah, because clearly.
Yeah, you get the sense that the lights are not all upstairs.
With the phasers, there's enough light that we don't need torches or anything, right?
At the very entrance, as far as you can tell. Further into it, who knows? But for the moment, you can see as if it's a dim light.
Okay. Well, I can see naturally, but you may need to pull out Dawnbringer.
Yeah. But keep it at a fairly normal level so I'm not blinding everybody.
Okay. Yep. You pull it out, and Dawnbringer, like you feel that euphoric feeling that that high that Dawnbringer had, immediately just like goes away as you bring her out. And he's like, oh, "This place is evil. I don't like it here.
Well, hopefully we're not staying for too long.
We must cleanse it before we leave." We did so well.
Yeah.
Earlier today, that was
top
great.
notch. I know, right?
Didn't you like it? Like I've been saying time and time again, need to cleanse demons. We do it. Wasn't it great? We helped.
Yes, we did. I feel like we did some good today.
So we need to seek out more of those beings, when Mark shows back up, and do it again.
But not to Mark.
Not on the highest of the priority list, but it's something to address eventually.
Okay, well, we'll put a pin in that, and we'll come back to it later.
Don't put a sword in it.
Well,
sorry, thinking out loud.
Put a sword in it. Yeah.
I don't like phasers. It doesn't feel good.
No, it's not the best. But setting it on fire is also problematic since most ways we have of setting things on fire are usually magic based. Therefore, yeah, it's A to B to C kind of thing, and yeah, then we get wild magic, and then you get unicorns for no reason.
Ron says, "Oh, I don't like wild magic." Last time it was.
No, it's not ideal. No, not on the priority list.
Are you going to do more wild magic?
I may.
Yeah, no promises.
Okay, maybe good wild magic.
It can happen.
I don't want to be a plant.
But you look so pretty as a rhododendron.
I'm already green. I don't want to be a plant green.
Okay.
He shoulders his axe and says, "Let's get this over with."
All right.
Okay.
Trekking straight through.
So you will have to pass through the phase rift to get in.
Okay.
And so you start doing so to get in there. And then, like everybody, as you're going through, you feel like this mild discomfort as you're going through, and it's almost like before the phase is just like radiation stuff. It's almost tangible here. It's like going through thick air. I need everybody as they're going through to make a wisdom saving throw.
Roll Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Wisdom. Okay.
Including Dawnbringer.
All right, for me, that is 13. And then for Dawnbringer, it's 18 plus whatever Dawnbringer has.
That's sufficient.
Okay.
I got a 15.
15? Okay. What about Ront?
Ront gets
the paragon of wisdom.
9.
All right.
Which is on point.
Okay. And what did you get Taston again? Sorry.
13.
Okay. So Taston and Ront.
Oh boy.
You're passing through this, and it's like mildly discomforting. You go about 15 feet, and then like the thick of it ends. Like it's still lighting up the place a bit, but you don't feel like you're pushing through dense air anymore. And Taston, you've got some after images. Like you can still, like out of the corner of your eyes, see like wisping blue and green and purple tendrils of phasers just kind of like flash. It's a bit distracting.
Okay.
And you notice Ron just sitting there rubbing his eyes as well. Liam, you're all right. Like there's some mild discomfort, but it passes.
Side effects may include.
I will say, as someone who has studied phase risks and an arcane practitioner, you definitely do take notice right away that there was probably some residual effects on a few party members. But it's not too bad at the moment.
Suffering from phaseritis.
It's kind of like that almost. Hey, I mean, you pass through radiation.
Oh, that's also not good. Yeah.
Magical radiation.
What's that tingling? I don't feel so good.
You didn't want kids, did you?
Yeah, ever. For like generations.
It goes, so the sound is still muted. So, like even when you're walking through here, it sounds almost like nothing. You come through the phasers and you see that the pathway splits into 3 directions. To the left, lit up by the phasers, you see a little, it's not even a cavern, it's almost like a natural room that's like 5 by 10 feet. And there are some short mushrooms growing all over the place. And a
Bad idea.
Crack in the wall, which looks like it's been traversed down, but it's really, you would have to be very, very small, like even like a small sized creature like the deep gnomes or the Darrow would have a hard time going through it without really squeezing. Straight ahead, you see what looks to be the natural continuation of the path, which leads a bit down, slips down to the edge of a large pool. When I say large, about 15 feet or so across. There's a bit of fungi around the edges of it and along the wall. And the pool looks nasty, though. Like, you can smell like the disease and stagnation in this pool. To the right, there looks to be just a fork. I mean, you see like a fairly large cavernous area which seems to hook around. It smells like rotting meat in that direction, though.
It's all pleasant.
So those are the 3 obvious paths that you see.
Well, Speedy Gonzalez said to stay straight.
Yeah. So we should stay straight.
Yep.
It is disease pool.
I'm going to cast Purify Water and then watch the world burn.
Oh, do you actually have purify water memorized? No. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's got Purify Food and Drink is the closest one, but it's like also don't really want to cast much of anything right now.
We're far enough away. You'd be fine.
I'm still suffering from the sickness.
Are you down with the sickness?
I know, yeah, I know. As soon as I said it, I'm like, that's so not going to fly.
I had to go there.
Yeah, that's not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So you look in the pool a bit more. As you're like, well, we should probably follow the advice. In addition to this pool, like looking diseased, you see the carcasses of a lot of creatures floating in here. Like some of them are bloated, some of them are fresh. It's anything from what looks like small little animals, but you swear you see a few Darrow in there as well. What's even worse is that this pool obviously has a heat source, so it is literally soup. It is warm. This, like, barf. Like, it's not like, to the point where it's, going to make you throw up, but like just testing. I mean, anyone who has an ounce of sense, even Ron is like, if we step in that pool, there is a high chance we're going to get infected by something. And you got about 15 feet of that to traverse before you reach the bank on the other end.
Oh, we do actually have to go through the water?
It's wall to wall.
15 feet.
Yeah, you can see the bank on the other end is 15 feet away. Now, you do have the walls of the cavern. That's the most immediate way to get around that you can see. Although you can tell, even just by the dim light of the phaserus, that they are slick.
Said it's 15 feet?
That's correct.
I have a really bad idea.
Those are the best ideas.
To say I'm looking at my options as well. It's like, maybe Shield of Faith. All right.
I want to cast web.
Okay.
Basically, 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
It'll cover the entire
Pool of nasty.
pool of nasty. So we can basically stay out of the water. It's difficult terrain, but we wouldn't have to go in the water.
That's true. It'd be slow going, but you could make it. Like it's anti-fall.
Yep.
Design.
Okay. Would you like to cast that?
Yes.
I know. That's like, oh man. Okay.
All right. You're like, watch this. No, the web springs into view. It attaches itself to all the walls. And just kind of like bounces in place for a second as it appears, and it's there. And Ron's like, oh, okay, yeah. I can do this.
Nothing happens.
Nothing other than the web appearing.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tarp.
So it takes a few minutes, but you manage to extract yourself from the web and gradually move across it to the other side. It's sticky and uncomfortable, but there is really no risk of falling unless you intentionally try and dislodge yourself and fall into the pool.
Ill-advised.
Yeah. And
It'll
everyone's
be
able
there
to
for
make
up to an hour.
Is it concentration or is it just there?
It's concentration or up to an hour.
Okay, so you can just concentrate on it until you decide you don't want to. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We're just going to assume it's there unless you cast another concentration or you specifically say you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you make it to the other side. The first person down sees that it seems to be clear on the other side, as far as they can tell. There's a bit of fungi, nothing above a foot. All right, I'll let you know.
Okay.
You do also see another crack in the wall. It looks like another passage for very tiny creatures that is on the other side over here, kind of cleverly hidden behind some of the fungi. But aside from that, you seem to make it across okay. The phaserus does start to wear off at this point. It seemed to be more towards the entrance, but it's getting less as you go to the point where after about 15 feet from this pool, the phaserus is no longer lighting this place up.
Okay.
But you have Dawnbringer, so you can use that as your light source for now. After about 25 feet of going, there is a fork, one which continues on straight, and another one which goes to the right. The one that goes to the right, you see that after about 5 or so feet into that place, there is just a literal thicket of fungi running higher than 1 foot. And it's so prevalent that you can't see more than a couple inches past the first layer of fungi. It's just literally like a wall, a curtain of fungi, like floor to ceiling. And Ron says, I'm not going in there.
I think Ront has the right idea.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Okay. You continue on. You come to another 3-way fork. There's a natural progression which goes forward, a place which goes left, and a place which goes right. The place which goes right seems to have that rotten meat smell again. The place which goes left just seems to be a passage which starts to narrow and go further down to the point where you kind of have to go side by side if you're a medium creature to get through it. And then there's the natural continuation which goes straight.
I'm assuming we go straight.
Keeping on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The instructions were, stay on the damn path.
Yep.
So you keep going and going and going, and you travel for a good minute or so, as it seems to almost spiral as it's going down. You see several other little cracks, passages in the wall that are, have obvious foot traffic of little tiny creatures going in and out of it. And it looks like humanoid tiny creatures. Like you can actually see like individual little footprints, which disappear into the tunnel. This place seems to be somewhat frequently trafficked, based on like the compressed dirt and stuff around there. After about a minute, you hear from around a corner up ahead, the path seems to like narrow into like a little like 2 foot wide place. At the end, like, there's barely enough for a medium-sized creature to just kind of like walk through. And you hear some language from up ahead. It sounds like, what would they be speaking? Let's see. Actually need to see.
Gith Yankee. I don't know.
Oh, it's undercommon. Gith Yankee. Yeah. We're here to hunt mind flayers.
I was like, oh, okay.
Right place, I guess, but why are you in this weird tunnel? No, they're talking in Undercommon. You have heard this particular type of accent before. This is what you heard in the Darrow area that you came in right before here. You hear when Undercommon wanted to say, it's your turn to feed the bears. The other one said, last time it was someone's turn to feed the bears. They were the bears' meal. I don't want to feed the bears. You feed the bears. I mean, you're up for sacrifice like tomorrow. You might as well just get it over with. And the one says, well, that's true. But, I kind of want that extra day. And there's like 3 of them. Like, I don't think I'll make a good meal. And everyone's like, oh, that's true. You would be a bad meal for them. Oh, this is, you think maybe we can go and grab somebody from next room and throw them in? Like, there's like a real fat dude in there. Everyone says, it's not a bad idea. I might just do that. But would that be healthy for the bears? And everyone says, oh, maybe not. And it goes on like that. It smells very musky coming from this area as well. Like this is like the scent of like wild animals and like poo and like a very not well cleaned animal area. You've smelled these before.
Speedy said if we encountered anyone, we should kill them before they kill us. They're talking about sacrificing someone to a bear.
Well, that seems unneighborly.
That it does.
All right. Well, guess let's ready up.
All right. Do we want to stop here? Because it is exactly 11:30.
Perfect.
Yes.
Ready up to roll initiative.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is Mark with us at this point?
No, he's still MIA.
Okay.
Okay.
And he probably will be until he comes back.
Well, right. But it was just, if he is here next
time
session, then
I'll be able to work him in if he has time next session.
Okay.
I don't know how long his recording block is going to be honest. So I literally have no idea. If he's going to be back. So we'll see. But no, if I have some ways to get him in if we need to.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, cool. Next time we'll pick up as you presumably ambush whoever these people are.
They're just some random people. Have nothing to do with anything. We just roll them.
Well, I mean, they are talking about going in and grabbing somebody and sacrificing them.
Yeah, but it's like code for like getting a specific type of waffles at the grocery store kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to get the bear waffles, right? Yeah, we'll feed into the bears. Just some.
You go in there to like playing a video game, and they're just talking about like something like, what?
Who are you? What are you doing? Yeah.
They're like, well, he told us to kill you.
Yeah. Guess we got to do it.
No,
that tracks.
They are acting very, very suspiciously, for sure. Okay, well, welcome to Whirlstone Tunnels, and we will pick up there next time.
All right.
Cool.